Hey, this is IndigoMusic.com. I'm Rohit, and it's time for yet another edition of Founders Frequency. And this is, of course, in association with Thai Bangalore Chapter. And this is where we talk about entrepreneurial journey. What should an entrepreneur do and not do when they are taking on this beautiful journey? When I say beautiful, it's not that beautiful. It's with a lot of struggles and a lot of ups and downs, but it's fulfilling at the end of the tunnel. I've got two people joining me. One is a charter member with the Thai Bangalore chapter, Mr. Ravi Narayan. Welcome to IndigoMusic.com. Welcome to Founders Frequency.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you very much.
And I've also got Srinija Elluru, who's also an associate member with Thai Bangalore chapter. Srinija, welcome to IndigoMusic.com.
Thank you.
Now, I want to start off with Mr. Ravi Narayan. You're a senior advisor at Thai Bangalore chapter, and also with Startup Genome, you've created wonders. So, tell me about your entrepreneurial journey. When did it all begin, and what were you doing before that?
Well, actually, I've had a very, I would say, a very peculiar career. My wife thinks I should have been doing some more normal things, but I chose to be an entrepreneur from the very get-go.
Okay.
So after I finished my MBA in California, I moved to the East Coast to start my first company. And this was to build software for the federal government in the US. I did
Mm.
my second company thereafter in the voice over IP space. So interspersed in all these were some corporate stints, as in the regular job, which my wife so much wanted me to do. Primarily, it's been since the very beginning of my career, and over time, from doing my own companies to helping other people build companies. So I became an entrepreneur again in India, but I found that the Indian ecosystem was not ready as much as we had taken for granted in the US. So it became a mentor slash investor to help other entrepreneurs become successful in India.
Yeah.
So we've been helping build startup ecosystems in India now for the last 20 years. And I also was working with Microsoft to help them build their corporate innovation program or the ventures program across the world in China, Israel, Europe, US, and India, sitting in Bangalore, thankfully. And that was a very fulfilling part.
Well, it's safe to say that you have created impact all around the world by sitting in Bangalore.
Indeed, indeed, yes.
Now,
Bangalore has been the epicenter for all my work.
absolutely. Now, I want to shift my focus to Srinija, who's also the founder and CEO of Oneshell Solutions Private Limited. Srinija, could you tell me briefly what Oneshell does and what are some of the services that you offer?
Hi everyone, this is Srinija. So I'm the founder and CEO of Oneshell. So basically, we are building a user-friendly custom ERP solutions for the India's dynamic SMB segment. So sometimes we think that, okay, when it comes to the Indian market, the small and medium businesses, right? So each category, each segment has the specific set of requirements. So any point of time, this billing and accounting solutions cannot be generalized and we will be able to provide. So this actually what happens here is hinders their efficiency. So being a daughter of a SMB merchant where we were into the retail, wholesale, distribution, right? So since 30 years, I know this segment, I know the challenges of this market. So we feel that in spite of you have lots of solutions in this market, you need something more unique. End of the day, today it's an AI era automation. So unless and until we think of about automations and efficiency, bringing into our day-to-day billing and accounting, right? So we cannot change things. So that is where we are trying to bridge this gap in this India's dynamic SMB segment by bringing in a custom-based solutions to specific categories in the market.
Right, and you basically did you start off by helping your family business with with the product that you have right now, and then did it become a product, or did you plan on making it a full-time startup?
I didn't help my dad personally, but definitely my mom and dad used to work. I mean, I saw my parents working. And since my dad comes from the articles background, so it's a brain with a accounting plus the business, this thing. And he is, in spite of having, since 30 years, it's not that he quickly moved to software. So being in manual also, the books used to be that perfect.
And I think, Mr. Narayan, Srinija, she from Bellary, it's a tier three city. Do you see that when we talk about startups, the first city that comes to everyone's mind in India is Bangalore, and they call it the startup capital as well. But do you have you seen this shift where a lot of companies, a lot of startups are coming in from tier two and tier three cities of late?
So first of all, I should acknowledge Srinija as to what she has accomplished from a city in Karnataka and so much attraction that she's got. If you just watch her eyes, it's sparkling. It's got a lot of passion, and she's smiling about her journey so far. And our job as people who have been there, done that, is only to make sure that they are absolutely and tremendously successful. So that's definitely something that we all strive to make happen. In terms of had a whole lot of IT services companies, and therefore technology folks were being recruited, trained, and so on and so forth. At some point in time, 15 years into their career, they said, you know what? I can do this on my own. I can build my own startup. There are other places. Obviously, there are people as capable and as impassioned as Srinija. Therefore, when they start their journey, they don't necessarily have this kind of talent pool around them. They don't have people who have either built technologies of that sort, or people who have been built companies of that sort, and therefore can come back and mentor Srinija, and also maybe even put in the initial set of money. Maybe it's just about 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs.
Yeah, so I think that's good news for Srinija. And yeah, she's having a good smile on her face. Srinija, tell me, when you started off with this idea, when this idea came about, what was some of the? Did you face rejections and did you face any hurdles when you started off One Shell?
So I think if you don't hear a no, right, be it from an investor or be it from your customer, I don't think you'll be building a great product or learning from them. So of course, day one, we sometimes we as a tech entrepreneurs, right? So we feel that we are good at building product,
Hmm.
and we feel that whatever we build, oh, it's very good, and the customers will accept it immediately. But the reality comes in when you actually go and present the product. Till you present the product, your customer always says, wow, it's really good, so I'm ready to onboard. But the moment you take the real product and try to place it in front of them, see, I have built the product what you wanted, so please onboard us. So that's when you
Hmm.
start your real journey, and that's how we learn. So day one, if I've got a no, after 2 years today the same customer is onboarding me. So which means my product, what a customer needs is what I have built, not what we want. So that
Correct.
is definitely a learning. And additionally, as Ravi sir pointed out, I think recently we even have good chunk of incubation centers coming up even from tier 2, tier 3 cities. So we were actually incubated at Anveshana TBI, which is from Shimoga, tier 2 city,
Hmm.
which helped us, like as Ravi sir pointed out, scaling up, networking. Networking is key in your entrepreneur journey. You can't do everything alone. So you
Yeah.
need to build your network who can help you push your product. And with this Anveshana TBI, who is part of the tier 2 city, so we raised our first check recently after the bootstrapping this part of it. So expanded our network, and definitely we are in a good position compared to whatever. And they're recognizing the entrepreneurs from tier 2, tier 3 cities, and they have basically even we be very frugal. So I'm being very honest. So for me, if I'm investing X amount, I need to see whether I'm able to get that X returns.
Fantastic. And
Yeah.
Mr. Ravi Narayan, you've invested in some of the companies and you've been a mentor when it comes to the startup ecosystem. This is on a lighter side. What is the one bad pitch that you've heard?
See, I think the bad pitch that I hear is when the startup founder thinks that, he or she has the best thing in the world, and we should be, falling at his feet to make the investments into the company. This was something that, did not have a very clear product or a service. In fact, it was all about him. And he said he was talking about himself, and I said, just invest in me, I'll make something really big happen because I've got this kind of a background.
Yeah.
And that's what really, gets turns off a lot of the investors from, even thinking of making that happen. It's not that we don't trust the people that they will actually go make it happen. How, she was talking to customers, they would always say yes. Interestingly, India, we never say no.
Mm.
And that's a bad thing for entrepreneurs because we are not getting the negative signal. You know, we
Correct.
need a positive signal, but we also need a negative signal. So if we are going to do something that is going to just waste away our money, waste away our time, we want to hear people saying no. So
Mm.
that's why having as many conversations up ahead and understanding how much of it is good, how much of it is bad is always very important. But in addition to that, I think it's also important for to also show that they have the ability to go back to the basic business principles and say, is this making sense even at this transaction level? You know, it's
Correct.
one thing because we have also seen companies raising, millions and billions of dollars. We think, okay, we'll see it later. Dekha jayega later.
Mm.
And let me just now get some revenue, even though if it's not profitable, it's all right. Let me just get people on the platform. But if you are not able to make it one transaction at a time, what we call as unit economics are not working for you, then you're not building a business on sound principles. So I'm very happy to see what Srinija is doing, not just from a standpoint of figuring out what the market needs, but also after the business is started, every single transaction is meeting the test of whether it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And every time, so we've been doing Founders Frequency for quite some time now. And most of the investors, most of the charter members with the Thai Bangalore chapter, they have one thing to say when I ask them about the bad pitch they've heard. The guy or the lady was all about themselves. So I always tell this when you're pitching, don't treat it like a job interview. Rather, showcase your product and what you have achieved with that product. Once again, I would like to thank the both of you for joining us on this episode of Founders Frequency. May we see a lot of more investments and more, fortune coming your way, Srinija, and of course with a
Thank you.
lot of guidance from people like Ravi sir himself. I think you can make a big company from tier 3 cities and probably make that city into tier 1 soon because of one company, because we've seen that happen in Bangalore. And I would say Infosys is one of the biggest names that we can come up with when we talk about it. Thank you so much for connecting, and it's been an insightful conversation, and all the best with all your future endeavors.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Rohit. Thank you, Srinija.
Thank you.